It's time now for Inside NAU's Mitch Stroman, who recently spoke with Northern Arizona University's Rich Bowen.
Teresa, thanks very much. Joining us on Inside NAU is Associate Vice President for Economic Development and Sustainability, Rich Bowen. Rich, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Economic development. Boy, those two words in this economy, in this day and age, are so important, not just nationally, but very much so in the Grand Canyon State. Talk for a moment, Rich, about Northern Arizona University's role in economic development, not just in Northern Arizona, but for the entire state of Arizona.
Certainly. Well, NAU definitely has a statewide impact. Clearly, we have an enormous impact locally. We have just recently completed an economic impact study done by our College of Business, looking at what the university does in this region. That number exceeded 1.5 billion. 1 in 7 jobs are created because of the university being here.
You spoke of jobs. You mentioned the statistic 1 in 7, and jobs are issue 1 in every state. Obviously in Arizona, that's a very, very big issue. When you talk about that type of job generation driven by economic development efforts at NAU, that suggests to me, Rich, that that's a powerful return on the state's investment in this institution.
It's a pretty amazing number when you step back and look at what we do in terms of job creation. The state of Arizona invest into Northern Arizona this last year $130 million. Our impact study showed that we returned in taxes to the state and local governments $200 million from the activities of the university. That's a pretty good return on investment, but it goes beyond that. It goes beyond just the direct return on investment in terms of taxes, making us not only revenue neutral, but a contributor to the tax base, because we take that $130 million and we invest it. We invest it because, and we leverage it. We invest it through our research and our commercialization of research, through our Vice President of Research, Laura Huniker, and her organization, through the Northern Arizona Center for Entrepreneurial Entrepreneurs and Technology, through the work we do, but also, students pay tuition. That money is then invested in various types of economic activity throughout the state.
Rich, give us a bit of a snapshot, if you would, about some of the big exciting things that are looming on the horizon relative to economic development for the state of Arizona and the Southwest and Northern Arizona University.
Well, President Hager is a part of a large organization that was recently formed by Governor Brewer and the leadership in Arizona called the Arizona Commerce Authority. The president is on their executive board. That's exciting. That's a new public-private push, and it will include representatives from Northern Arizona University on that group as well, that will drive economic development for the entire state. But more importantly, for rural Arizona, NAU has that mission. And our job, and some of the things that we're doing, Mitch, is to go out and begin to work with the rural communities on how do you best develop your economy, and particularly with what's happened with the downturn and what's happened over the last couple of years.
Rich Bowen, Associate Vice President for Economic Development and Sustainability at Northern Arizona University. Very interesting to hear from you about how NAU is helping to lead the way in not just job creation, but also economic development for the state of Arizona. Thanks for joining us on Inside NAU.
Good to be here.